is looking at a picture of end-stage renal failure. This is the last stage when you're less than 10% of the kidney functioning.
Wow.
And also you see a picture of the acute renal failure. This is around second stage. This is around the 60% or 65% that is working. We're going to talk about a little bit of the percentages, but I wanted to show a picture of how it looks.
Bless up, Jah people. Welcome back to It's Herbal Time. As you can tell, I started this show off with a picture, so you'll know that our topic of discussion and focus for this month will be the kidneys. I have officially made June our kidney detox month. And I really want to help some people that are on dialysis that really want to get off. I want to help those people that have that silent inflammation and high blood pressure that has this undetectable chronic kidney disease and they don't know it. I also want to help those people that have that burning sensation when they urinate and they have kidney sand that has turned into kidney stones and now has caused some damage and they don't know it and they need to prevent it. So it's a lot of things I want to teach in this show because we will be starting tomorrow a kidney detox method in our Facebook group, link down below, so that you'll be able to join us on this 10-day kidney detox. So before I even show how to get that method done, I have to teach you all about the physiology and the anatomy. So let's dig into it.
Inside of the medulla pyramids is this big structure right here, but it's really, really small. There are 1 million in each kidney, so we got 2 million nephrons that look just like this. I just supersized it so you can see the intricate details. Now, when we're looking at the kidney, this is like a whole body of its own. You know, it has a brain, it has a heart, it has vessels, it has all these different things. So it's very, very intricate. There are a lot of people that need this information so they'll know how this is functioning. So what we have here is, it starts from this vein, this actual artery right here. The artery is here in red, arteries here in red. All right. When this artery is having, the lumen has the blood in it. It has all of the oxygenated blood, all of the nutrients, all of the nitric oxide, all of the amino acids, proteins, hydrogen ions. So it has all of the sodium and everything that's in the blood. So when it comes here, I'm going to show you guys. This is a artery, and what did I say was a smaller artery? This is called a arteriole. So it's a smaller artery. And this is called the afferent, meaning it's going into this structure right here that's called the glomerulus. All right, this little structure right here. This glomerulus is like the brain of every nephron. It is diffusing all of these small particles, like smaller proteins. It can diffuse hydrogens. Those are positive ions, and we have to excrete the positive ions because if we don't, our blood will be acidic. All right, so we need to stay at a level of 7.1. So one of the functions of this nephrons is to make sure that our blood does not be acidic. All right, so this is called the Bowman's capsule, this little area that looks like a hook. And from the Bowman's capsule and from the glomerulus, we have all these diffusions that's going in. And it actually is going to be going into this tubule. This is called the proximal tubule. All right. This is the area where glucose is being absorbed and reabsorbed. Calcium is being absorbed and reabsorbed. We have sodium that's being traveling down. So as it goes down this proximal tubule, there's these little what you call capillaries. The red here that's coming from the afferent arteriole that's going around in all loops and everything that you see. This is what they call a peritubule capillary network. All right, it's a network of capillaries that is diffusing certain things, certain minerals, certain glucose, amino acids. They're all going in between certain areas. Once it goes down this proximal tubule, it's going down into what they call the loop of Henle. This is where glucose can actually be secreted out back into the bloodstream. So inside of the nephron, if you look at this yellow space, all right, this is called the cortex, and also the extracellular matrix, where there's actually fluid right there. Fluid that is called the interstitium. They need to give this a whole nother organ name. Probably it's already been talked about, but if you know the word interstitium, which is all on the outside of every nephron, it's called the interstitium. That's a whole nother organ. Just been found in 2015. They named it a new organ. So as the blood is delivering all of the nutrients here, this is how we're cleaning the blood. This is a cleaning system. One of the number one causes of kidney failure is these two molecules right here, these two structures right here. So this is protein, and this is sugar. And those two added together create this. Alright, so this can also happen with lipids, which is basically fat. So anytime they get exposed to the sugars, they definitely cause more of the glycated proteins. So we will call this age. That's another word for it. Once these get into the circulation, they can get to our retina, like we talked about before in the other class. They can also get into this area right here, where this becomes so saturated. All right. When this area becomes saturated, it's hard for other blood and all the other fluids to get through here, because this is the very first part. All right. The first thing about kidney failure, the person has to be going through high glucose levels or high insulin levels. They must have high insulin levels because this part right here has become so glycated. So the first thing is high insulin and basically high blood sugars, high glucose.
Now, I just told y'all the number one cause of kidney failure, and it seems to all result back to poor digestion. And that's how you end up with these advanced glycated end products. And if you were to lower your insulin, like I always tell my clients, you have to control your insulin. The lower your insulin is, the better your blood sugar will be, the better your blood pressure will be, and in some cases, the better your cholesterol will be. So, the best way to lower your insulin is to do something called intermittent fasting. Try to put yourself in a restricted time frame from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. and that's when you consume your foods. So if you're looking to find out what are the key indicating signs that you have some kidney issues, well, one of the signs you will have is high blood pressure, also maybe anemia, and sometimes you'll see foamy urine. Foamy urine means that you have some protein in your urine, and it's in the name of albumin. And they will indicate that that was some type of chronic kidney disease. Now that's called proteinuria, and a lot of people could have that. Around 10 million people in the States already have protein in their urine. Another key indicator would be edema. Edema is like having those swollen ankles. And if you put your finger into your ankle and it leaves an indentation there, that lets you know that you have edema. And the sodium is high and the potassium is low. So you can just change that ratio and have 2 times as much as potassium than you have sodium, and then you won't have those swollen ankles. Another way to get that to come back to the kidneys, that swelling, that edema, water retention, to come back to the kidneys is to elevate your legs and start to do ankle pumps. Another key indicating sign would be the itchiness all over the skin, because your kidneys or your skin is basically your third kidney, and it has to excrete waste. And if you find that you have these little papillomas keep popping up over your body, then it is time to do a kidney detox. If you have this metallic taste in your mouth and you have an ammonia smelling breath, that lets you know that you're dealing with some heavy metals, and cadmium may be the first metal that is harming your kidneys. So a lot of the smokers out there, cadmium is definitely inside of the cigarettes, and it's a part of kidney health as well. So protect your kidneys and stop smoking. If you have frequent urination or you stop urinating as much, that's also a key indicator. And if you have excessive thirst, then it's time to do a kidney detox. So all of these signs are there to let you know that you have some kidney issues. So let's go back into the studio and find out even more.
We got to understand that the kidney is also making vitamin D. So vitamin D is important to regulate the calcium, magnesium, phosphorus levels in our body. But the kidneys are controlling how much cholesterol cholesterol that you're creating. So this is all another form of vitamin D. I don't think I have that up here. Right, so 10,000 units of vitamin D would be fine to use. No, I don't have it right there. So I just wanted to share with you guys a couple of things, like the foods that we should be eating. I gave a list on y'all worksheets about which herbs and foods may be toxic to the kidney. We already know we should not be having caffeine. Caffeine is definitely a no. If a person has high blood pressure and drinking caffeine, you know that that's actually contributing to what sits on top of the kidney. What sits on top of the kidney?
The liver.
What's that little triangle that sits on top of the kidney?
Adrenals?
The adrenals. Yeah.
Adrenals.
So as the adrenals are releasing epinephrine, this is a hormone that is released to cause adrenaline in the heart. So when people are drinking coffee, that's what they're increasing. And that goes back down this osmotic flow. And this little thing right here is controlling the blood pressure, not just the heart. All right, so it controls the osmotic fluctuations in the lumen, the interstitium. All of that is definitely being controlled by the kidneys. So you can go think about this is the earlier stage of heart disease. If it's not going to work, if it's not going to be in your kidneys, or the kidney disease is going to go to your heart. All right, so both of those are working together. So a person with complications with the kidneys got to watch out for their heart. All right. So another thing, some of the things there are recommended daily amounts of vitamins, because this is very intricate. You just can't fix the kidneys really easily. You have to get blood testing to find out where you are in certain levels. You need to know where your phosphorus levels are, where your calcium levels are, where your magnesium levels are. Sodium, sodium has to be released. Sodium is positive, so sodium comes out, is reabsorbed through both areas, the diastole. So this is sodium, and this is always a positive ion that the kidneys are releasing. They also release down here in the loop of Henle, it's releasing what they call chloride. So chloride is a negative ion. That's negative. And also hydrogen. Talked about We got calcium that's up here. It's also being reabsorbed. These are all positive. So it matters which ones is positive and which ones is negative. Like I said, that controls the pH. I like to use B vitamins when it comes to helping the kidneys heal. All right, so one of the main B vitamins that help the kidneys heal is B5. This is called pantothenic acid. You cannot heal the kidney without B5. All right, you also need vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 helps eat up some of those glycated proteins. All right, so this B5, B6, they all handle what you call the metabolism of the kidneys. So if you wanted to restore it, you got to use these B vitamins. B12 is part of the energy production in the kidneys. And you can always use things like the CoQ10 for energy production. But B vitamins are really, really good for it. So,
could we use a B complex, or is it good to isolate the Bs?
you can use a B complex along with the recommended one. So, but think of it this way: there's recommended daily amounts that we need when it comes to like niacin, which is a B3. You only need about 20 milligrams of that. The pantothenic acid, you only need about 10 milligrams of that. They put here folic acid is really good. Actually, we have folate. I don't know if I have folate here. No, I don't. But you want to take about 1 milligram of that as well. So the B vitamins, guys, is very important. I'm talking about all of them: B1, B2, B6, B12, B9, B5, B3. So those will be really good just to help restore. When it comes to the herbs, there are only certain herbs, right? And I've already put that in a kidney detox. There are only certain herbs that will be really good for it. So first we have a uva ursi. I think that may be on you guys' worksheets. Uva ursi is a diuretic, basically a natural diuretic. It helps create more urine. Where is gravel root? Gravel root is for if you are prone to getting stones. All right, there's a lot of oxalates that can build up.
All right, so let me explain how we're taking the kidney detox tea. So many of my clients have performed the total detox and have experienced the presence of gallstones through the liver flush protocol. And I just wanted to explain that if you're seeing gallstones and you know that your liver gets rid of toxins, you must understand that your kidneys also need to get rid of toxins, and they can possibly have kidney sand. And you don't want that kidney sand to turn into kidney stones, and that's the reason why we need to do the kidney detox. So during this cleanse, you want to avoid animal products, dairy products, alcohol, coffee, sodas, chocolate, and processed foods. You want to make sure that you are drinking some lemon water first thing in the morning. It doesn't matter if it's lemon or lime, but it helps wake up the kidneys, and it can also break down some of the oxalate stones. You also want to chew on some of the lemon rind, because you'll find that it can stimulate the release of specific enzymes to help break down those acidic deposits like uric acid stones inside of the kidneys. So here we go. You want to mix all of the herbs. I have this bag inside of here, big bag, so you can mix all of these herbs inside of here. There's about 9 herbs inside of this bag. And once you mix them all really, really good, you want to take 2 heaping tablespoons before bedtime and put them inside of a pot and just soak it and cover the pot and leave it overnight. In the morning, you want to bring that concoction to a boil, let it simmer for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then strain it. So throughout the day, you want to take sips. You don't want to drink this all at one time. You don't want to add sugar. You don't want to add any sweetener. and you do not want to refrigerate it. So just think, around 10 o'clock, you may want to take 6 to 8 sips. Around 12 o'clock, you want to take about 6 to 8 sips and just sip on it throughout the day until you get rid of those the two cups. So what you may find is that you have this strong smell of urine, and you also may find that you have a darkening of your urine. This may indicate that you have a major release of toxins, but most people during the first few days, it's a gradual release. So during this time, you also want to increase your water consumption. I would recommend up to 80 ounces per day.
Really good foods that really help regrow these cells are basically protective. You want to suppress the growth of the stage 2 to stage 3 or the stage 4 to end stage. You want to protect yourself from it. And we already talked about some of the herbs, but some foods like blueberries. Blueberries are amazing. It has anthocyanins in it, which are phytochemicals that boost up immunity, and also they're safe for the kidneys. It doesn't have a lot of potassium in it, doesn't have a lot of sodium in it. This is fructose, but it's going down different pathways in the liver before it gets to the kidney. So the liver is doing all that cleaning first, and then it gets there. We can use blueberries to all day. You know, blueberries, grapes, red grapes. These are foods that have resveratrol in it. Resveratrol is anti-aging. So red grapes, make sure the grapes have seeds in it. Another food would be cabbage. Cabbage is a cruciferous vegetable. I would definitely recommend that the person drinks the cabbage juice. Like I said in the other video, this is handling all of our liquids. So the cabbage juice, just eating cabbage, helps our gut lining. It's very safe. It doesn't have a lot of potassium, salt, those things in it. These are the 3 main foods that you can really use to heal the kidneys. Make sure you incorporate those every single day. And this reishi mushroom is something that you want to use just to boost up those glutathione levels. Now I know everyone may think that you can use herbs for almost everything. There are a couple of herbs that are really, really bad for kidney disease. There are a lot of people that know about bladderwrack, sea moss. That's not for kidneys. It's really not for kidneys. They actually have more heavy metals in them. Alright, they're coming from the ocean, and they definitely have a lot of arsenic, cadmium, and they cause something called chronic interstitial nephritis. If you continue to use these things, and you already are at a stage 2 kidney disease, then you're not going to use Irish moss and all those different things. Licorice. Had a young lady get some licorice before, and I had to ask her if she had kidney disease, because I understood that the phytochemical that is there can cause hypokalemia.
Now it's really herbal time, ja people. So you have to know what you're doing when it comes to taking herbs, because many of them would have side effects. But I also believe that the Most High has put an herb to help heal every medical condition right here, and he put it right there in nature. But what if you're unable to get to those herbs, and you're on dialysis, and the prescription medications may interact with those herbs, and you're scared to use it? What would you do? Well, there is an ancient secret method I want to share with you, and a lot of the Western society will frown upon this idea. But it is well known in Europe, Asia, Africa. A lot of them know about this, and it is called urine therapy. Research it, people, because many people have done this to help prolong their life even if they've never been on dialysis or if they're on dialysis, they get to live a better quality life and come off of dialysis. The kidneys are not releasing nutrients from our bloodstream because they are poisonous or bad for us. They are simply releasing these nutrients because there's no need for it at this time. The idea that urine contains toxins is a myth. Your urine contains about 95% water, 2% urea, and the rest of it is growth hormones, insulin, and urokinase. Now, urokinase is a very important enzyme that can help dissolve blood clots in our veins and our arteries, and that's very good for those who are trying to prevent a stroke or a heart attack. But little do people know that the amniotic fluid, when we were a fetus inside the uterus, that was 80% urine. And without that urine, ingesting it, we would not have developed our lungs. So we've been flushing away our medicine for years and decades, and now we finally know.
So as I always try to help people, there are certain herbs that I've kept people off of dialysis. I got a couple of clients that order this monthly. This is the kidneys and pancreas formula and a part of the Total Detox program. This has saved people from getting on dialysis because of a good herb called Punarva. This is one of those herbs that's common in Ayurvedic herbs. It's made in southern parts of India. This particular herb will save you from the progression of kidney disease. So I just wanted to give you guys that because you can do your own research. You'll find that in all the studies, I found a lot of good information about Punarva. Use the N-acetylcysteine, NAC, and there is another powerful antioxidant to use. What I'm trying to do is get into the cell's mitochondria. This is the powerhouse that creates all of the energy, and if we can create more energy here by using things like N-acetylcysteine, things that build up glutathione, we'll definitely restore the energy in the kidneys. So that product is called alpha lipoic acid. And the wheat germ oil that a lot of people use has alpha lipoic acid in there. I don't sell it because I use the wheat germ oil for almost everything. But it's definitely a protector from oxidative damage. So I always say the proteins don't have any antioxidants. We understand that. We understand that the animal products don't have antioxidants, and we need the antioxidants for things just like this. And then once you get your test, always test. That is a big thing. Always test. Get your blood panel, your blood analysis, so we can run and know what's going on with those different levels, and each week or each month we can work on it and fix it. When there's high phosphorus levels, maybe that person was drinking sodas, maybe that person was eating too much meat or eating too many beans. Beans will make too much phosphorus as well. Also, broccoli will make too much phosphorus. So you got to be careful on phosphorus levels. Sodium can be high by just going over that daily amount. Is so easy of sodium. You do need some sodium. You need Himalayan salt, and not so much, guys. If you have kidney malfunction, you need to base yourself on that test. That's the better way to heal yourself. Not just going off a wing and just doing some things and thinking that it's going to work. We need to actually do the actual work to it.